Hey everyone, Dave here, and we're going to have a new moto vlog, especially when it comes to this thing that's behind me. So what that is the new ultimate seat for the Goldwing. Can't wait to get out of here, change my clothes, and we're going to put that thing on. So I'm going to set up a camera, get my tools, get everything all set up, and I will see you momentarily. So here we are, we're back again, and if it looks like I'm making a big production out of this, I certainly am. I want to make sure that people see what I do to put this seat on. And plus there's an extra bonus with this in that I'm going to put a USB port in, which will be a secondary port, and it will be in the left-hand saddlebag. So to tell you what happened, this ultimate seat shipped from Florida, and it shipped a couple of days ago, and I got a notification that it was going to deliver today. So I set it up so that I would get a text message and it would tell me when the actual seat arrived. I got the text message just before noon, so I decided I was going to come home before I grabbed something to eat, and I was going to put it inside my garage so that if we got storms later, it would be fine. So what happened was I come home and I look and there's no package here. Well, what's going on? FedEx said it was delivered, and it said that it was okay. So I logged into the FedEx website, took a look and looked at the proof of delivery, and it said that it was delivered to Madison Avenue. Now I live on West 9th, so there's a big difference if you're familiar with Ashtabula. It's completely on the other side of town. So I called FedEx. They weren't very helpful. In fact, they'd already been on my list for several other things related to my job because I do logistics where I work at ChromaFlow. So now I'm calling Ultimate Seats in Florida to find out if they can do anything to help. So what happens is I talk to them, give them a tracking number, give them the proof of delivery, and they took a look and saw that it was actually to a business, and it ended up being a little warehouse for Windstream. So they suggested that I go over there and see if I could get it. So I went over, knocked on the door, and said call a phone number, so I did, and I told her who I was, and I said there was a package delivered here for me and I would like to pick it up. And she said, oh yeah, sure, just a minute, I'll open the door. So she opened up the overhead door, I walked in a little bit, and she said, yeah, I knew this wasn't for us. So she was extremely helpful. I apologize I didn't get your name, but you were magnificent. You treated me very nicely, and you really didn't have to. You could have been really foolish about it. So I do appreciate that you were very kind. You got me my seat, loaded it up in the back of the car, and I went back to work. So all is happy except for FedEx. I'm not happy with you at all. So anyway, that's the journey on how it got here. I was lucky to get it today. Otherwise, FedEx would have had to go back and pick it up, bring it back to Fairview, Pennsylvania, and try to re-deliver it at some point. And that just wasn't going to work for me. I really wanted it today because it would give me a chance to ride this weekend and get used to the seat. And there is a break-in period. It molds to my backside, dare I say. So I want to get as much time as I can on it to help it mold itself to myself, my body, before I go on my trip in July. So here we are, and I'm about ready to open up the box. So why don't we get started? I've got the knife in hand. Open up the box and let's see what's inside. All right, so here we go. You're watching me actually open this thing up. And I'll try not to go very deep with the knife because I'm not real sure where the seat is. It looks like it's packaged really well, which is good. So we got lots of this bubble strip stuff. We've got just some loose packaging, which is fantastic. And oh man, there is the seat. Oh, this is great. So here is the passenger backrest. If I get a full-time passenger, hopefully she'll take advantage of this and be very comfortable with it. Now what I got was the normal seat that has the leather, the pleather, vinyl, whatever this is. And then the center portion is actually a carbon fiber inlay. So the whole seat is made this way. It's got Ultimate on it, and that looks fantastic. I really like that. And plus this portion of the seat, which I didn't realize because I've never been a passenger on my own motorcycle, is that this portion is heated as well, and I didn't realize it was with the factory seat. So this looks fantastic, looks really good. So I'm going to, this is the first piece that I'm going to actually put on when I get to the bike. So I'm going to put the bag back on it just to protect it. And now, aha, for the ultimate, haha, pun intended, this is the ultimate seat that will hold, hopefully at some point, a passenger will be on this back part of it, this part here, and then this is mine. And it's really, really well constructed. It says Ultimate here. It's got a place for a backrest, which is inside the box here as well. And it's got a plug-in for the heated portion of the seat that comes standard with the Goldwing. So I'm really tickled to death to be able to put this on. Now there is another box here, and it's got RBR, which must be rider backrest, rain cover enclosed. So let me go get my knife again. You'd think I'd never cut a box open before. Okay. So in here we got some paperwork. It looks like some, all right, these are the screws, so that will screw in the actual seat when I put it on. And it's got some instructions and my invoice. Expensive. So here is the backrest that they refer to. Oh wow. This is really nice too. It looks as though I've got to figure this out, which I will at some point, but it almost looks like, oh, okay, I get it. It's not constructed the way I thought. There's a pouch, but I believe that this is Velcroed to the back of the seat, the backrest part, and that's somewhere for the passenger to put a few things. So, this looks really nice. It's very thick, well padded. And then this, because it's got some stitching as opposed to what I had with the other seat, the factory seat, with the heat glued seams which came apart, which is the main reason why I got this seat in the first place. Because of the stitching, it's got rain covers for when it rains, and they're made of the same material pretty much as what the Frog Tog material is. So that will be something that comes with me on every trip. It'll just stay in the motorcycle. So this is fantastic. I'm going to move the camera and begin disassembly of the bike. So let's get started. Well, it's a really, really hot day. So I've got my Gatorade, need to stay hydrated. And I brought a towel out so I can wipe the sweat off of my face, which is going to be probably extremely frequently. Let me open up the trunk. Now there's supposed to be 6 screws in here that will release that back portion. So let me get a screwdriver so I can get these out. And the sun is in such a way that it's going to be very difficult to see. I'm either going to be in the shade or the sunlight because of the position of the sun at this time of the day. I'm not positive which ones should come out because I looked at the video last night, but I believe it's these 6. And at some point, I am going to just speed this thing up so that you're not seeing every step by step. Because the install and doing that USB cable to the saddlebag probably going to take about 40 minutes, and nobody needs to sit here and watch me babble on while this occurs. So I figure I'll just record what I'm doing and then fast track it so it's just a few minutes. Well, there it is. It's finally done. I just want to clean it up a little bit. Clean the bike up, got a little bit of dirt on it. Clean the seat and put a little protectant on it, and then I am going to go for a ride. So in a split second here, we're going to be on my GoPro, and I'll tell you my thoughts about how the seat feels. So see you shortly. All right, we're going to take off and give this thing a try. So the new seat's on, feels solid. I don't feel anything that's going to make it not feel right. I'm going to wait here a second so traffic thins out. Okay. Feels like it's cooling down a little bit. I don't know what that guy was doing. Okay. I guess trying to be nice, not knowing which way I'm going, but here we go. So the bike says it's 85 degrees right now. There's a nice breeze, so hopefully it's going to start cooling down some and not be as brutally hot. I feel bad. Yesterday I was coming along here and somebody hit a deer, and poor thing must have broke its hip or back or something, because it couldn't get up and it was suffering. So I hope that somebody took care of it. Just can't believe the deer are way here in the harbor area like they are here, where there's so much traffic. All right, so I have the new Ultimate seat. It feels much different than the stock seat with the wing soft adjustment to it. Way different. I can see the backrest is going to need a little bit of adjusting. It felt like that it was going to be okay, but I think I need to move it back a little bit. I'm a little too upright, although maybe it's okay, and I just don't know it. I'm gonna have to experiment a little bit because everything's gonna be different with this seat. So I'm trying to get my mirror adjusted on the left side because I bumped it when I was putting the seat on. Man, this feels good. It's going to take some time for the seat to break into my backside. I mean, that's a given. Let's see, I can touch the highway pegs without issue. I feel different spots where the seat is supporting me than what I had with the stock seat. So it does feel like it's molded to me a bit more than what I expected. Like I said, I think the only thing that needs a little bit of adjusting is the backrest. I think it needs to go back just a little bit. Just so I don't feel like I'm as... Well, upright is not a bad thing, but I feel like I'm a little more forward leaning than I was used to with the other setup. Now, it doesn't mean that the other setup was superior. Just noticeable difference. So far so good. I would expect a brand new seat to feel really good. How will it feel after 3,000 miles? Well, I'm going to find that out eventually. So I'm going to take some nice scenic roads here and just take it nice and easy. Enjoy the scenery. It is a beautiful evening. Hopefully I won't be riding into the sun very much. I am expecting that, told Clay I'm going to head his direction in Madison, so I'm going to head that way. He was working all day outside farming and he's probably pretty exhausted, so needs time to cool down and so forth. And I'll be seeing him either tomorrow or Saturday anyway, so I'm just looking for a place to go. Okay, this is not going to cut it. 40 miles an hour here. Sorry, but sorry, dude. I'm sure he's in his car going, damn punk kid on a motorcycle. I'd love to be called a punk kid, actually, because I'm a little bit older than that. But anyway, that's why they make passing zones. All right. This does feel really good to be out riding. I was burning up in the garage doing all this work. So what did I do? All of that stuff that I did, I took the old seat off, including the passenger backrest from the trunk, and replaced that. So put the new backrest on, the new seat on, the new rider backrest that is for me. One thing I was going to do, and this is going to sound absolutely crazy, but I am turning the heat on full blast on my seat. I want to be sure that I hooked it up properly, and once I start to feel the heat radiate, I'm going to turn it off. I couldn't really feel it. I did a test real quick, but just touching it, you're not going to really feel it. But since I've got some weight on the seat, I want to see if it's going to get my attention. Clay said that his, you can fry a steak on it on the medium setting, so let's see how mine does. I'm not going to leave it on long, believe me. I think I'm feeling it. It would be pretty quick if it did. It's going to be hard to tell because it's 85 degrees out and the seat's already somewhat warm. If it were cold out, I would definitely feel it. Okay, I do feel it. Time to shut her down. So that's good to know. So I'll make the assumption that the passenger seat will work as well. And someday I'm going to have a regular passenger who will enjoy it back there and be all nice and toasty. So far, so good. I may pull over up here. Ooh, there's residual from the seat radiating. Yeah, I feel that. I think I'm going to pull over up here and adjust the backrest a little bit so that it's back a little bit more. The position of the backrest is in a good spot, so it feels really good. Alright, I'll pull over right here, just onto this pavement here. I think that's pavement. It is. Okay. So, now if I feel this right, doing it by feel. Okay, I'm going to try that. We'll see how that goes. Not sure how much I adjusted it, but I feel a little bit different. I may find out that I don't want to use the backrest sometimes. There's definitely a different feel to the seat. Oh, there we go. Okay, I was able to make the adjustment on the fly. That feels a little bit more familiar. Now, I do feel like I'm more forward just a little bit. but it's not bad. It's not uncomfortable. I believe the seat has memory foam, some kind of memory foam design anyway. And again, it's an Ultimate brand seat. You can get it for a number of different motorcycles. It's not just a Goldwing. I believe you can get them for all brands, quite honestly. And they've got an outlet in Florida. I believe what happened is Canada is where they make them, and then they ship them to Florida because this seat was shipped from Florida. And if I look at the tracking, all the tracking information kind of shows its journey, and that's probably to save the American, we're all North American, the US consumers costs on taxes and duties, I'm going to assume, since I'm a logistics guy. And that kind of makes sense. I had to pay taxes and duties when I got my sound booth for my studio, because it was coming from Barcelona, Spain. That was 10 years ago, I believe. But anyway, back to the seat. So it took its crazy journey and was delivered to a Windstream warehouse, and I went and picked it up. Luckily, again, I want to repeat that the lady who was working there, and I didn't catch her name, was amazing. She was wonderful. She understood and was very polite and kind, very nice. So I don't know if she'll ever hear this, but just in case somebody does hear this that may know her, please pass along my gratitude for being so helpful. I mean, she didn't have to do anything. She could have just let FedEx come and get it and let them sort it, but she was extremely helpful. So it's appreciated. I was able to do the seat tonight, and that's what my plan was. I really wanted it to arrive today so I could do this, and I would have a very, very nice weekend to really put some miles on this and see how the seat feels. And so far so good. It feels great. But again, I would expect that, considering I've only gone maybe a few miles anyway. So initial impressions, very, very impressed. I like it. But I have to see just how it feels, you know, when I'm doing some more riding, getting some more time on it. I'm going to do a lot to take care of it as much as I can, because it will be sitting out in the sun quite a bit, and I don't want it to degrade. I've got some stuff, I believe it's called Cycle Care Formula 4, which was recommended by John at Wingsoft for maintaining the stock seat cover stock. So this should do just as well. It's very good for leather and that sort of thing. It's good for cars too, I guess. And it doesn't make it slippery like Armor All and some of the other stuff does. So anyone else want to just roll out? Okay, just checking. Austinburg looks pretty good. They'll get these roads all straightened out. So anyway, I'm going to do some more riding. I'm going to cut this thing off for now, because no sense you hear me babble on and just listen to my impressions, because quite honestly, it feels good. It's going to be good. It's brand new. I mean, that's to be expected. So I'm going to do some more riding and just let it break in a bit, and wish everyone a great evening. And hopefully this will get posted by the weekend, so that you'll see what this is all about. You'll see the whole quick install, because I sped it up, took all the other stuff out. There was one point that the saddlebag cover almost pulled my shorts completely off. It was quite embarrassing. I did cut that out. We don't need to see that. Frightening, actually. So anyway, from Austinburg, have a great evening. Talk to you again soon.